Okay, so basically we have the point that the Book of Mormon basically references the Bible on many occasions, has its own story, and there are other books by the church, like Gospel Principles, Search These Commandments, Deacon stuff, missionary stuff, preacher stuff, teacher stuff. I mean, about any book you could possibly think about any angle of the church has been printed by the LDS Church or printed by a company hired by the LDS Church to print their crap. And all this stuff is from the presidency of the church, which is the apostles, if you don't know, or you don't care. Either way, the apostles are there. And they are said to be by the church men of God that are, still the same 12 type of apostles that were around when Jesus was around. So they're still here, and they state that the keys of priesthood were lost. God took them away and said, "Nope, you don't get them. You don't get them back." So for 900 or actually it's more like 1800 years, basically, or 1200. Basically a little over 1,000 years we were without God at all. So no real baptisms, no real anything at all whatsoever. So yeah, basically we got screwed on that one. And then this guy, Joe Smith, goes, "Hey, guess what? God talked to me and he said he's gonna get everything back in line again and make sure everybody's happy and gets their priesthood, and you get some priesthood, and you get some priesthood, and here's some books over there, translate them." And yeah, it was it was quite interesting. Joseph Smith basically went from boy who was curious about religion to prophet in a matter of, I don't know, 5 to 6 years or so. It took, a while for Joseph Smith to become a prophet. Do you think if God would have wanted Joseph Smith a prophet, he would have just immediately go, "Okay, here's the book, here's that, translate it, we need to get this thing going, let's go, go, go"? Why deny Joseph Smith the ability to get the prelates right away? Why have him go through all this crap? Why have him do all this? Is that to prove that he's worthy? Because that would probably be the only justified means by it, because there's no way Joseph Smith could have saw God. He wasn't baptized at all. He hasn't even joined a religion. He didn't even receive a kind of baptized thing or nothing. He didn't even get baptized till after the Moroni incident, until after he received all that stuff and translated it. And then, got it going. And then basically shortly after he got a hold of the books and started translating it, Peter, James, and John show up and go, okay. They give him the priesthood, and then he baptizes him, gets baptized, and then he baptizes Brigham Young, or Brigham Young baptizes him, or however it goes, however you want to say it, doesn't matter. One guy baptizes another, they both get the priesthood, they're all good to go. Now they're priests. Now they're good to go, Funny thing was Jesus and John the Baptist. John the Baptist was baptizing people and telling them that, they basically get washed of sins of the water. And Jesus, even though he was pure, did it. And basically got holy, got the ghost, received and such, and then he began his mission. Joseph Smith began his mission before he was even baptized, before he was even part of any Orthodox religion, and then magically later on, by the way, we gotta baptize you. It's that inconsistency of religious attributes that lead me to believe that it's bogus, kind of like the whole God's a man thing, even though in Nehemiah chapter 9 verse 6 it says, thou even thou art Lord alone, thou hast made heaven and the heavens of heavens, with all their host, and the earth and all things that are therein, and the seas and all things that is therein, and thou preserve them all, and the host of heavens worship thee. You know, I mean, he made everything. There is no other God. He made all the heavens, not just part of it, all of them. He did it all. He just went, boom, earth, planet, solar system, bang, there you go. The entire existence of everything was created by God. One fell swoop, the Big Bang, whatever you want to call it. You know, and basically created everything, not a bunch, because if you would think if there was other people, you know, and other planets and other gods and so on, that there would be evidence of that. We would have found each other by now, you know, especially older, much older civilizations, you know, especially that would be a particular, you know, thing to think about. You know, think of all those civilizations before God, you know, do you think they would be advanced enough by now to be able to travel into space to find us or something? It's not as bogus theory as, you know, multiple gods and gods having, you know, parents and shit. I mean, I don't have to argue the scriptures with you. I don't have to throw the fucking science world at you, because if I threw the science world at the Bible, I could easily disprove 60% of the Bible, because only 50% of it is, you know, historically accurate, in the sense that it is architecturally and old shit, metallurgically, everything, you know, basically everything lines up with the Bible at that time, which it should, because that's history, and that's, you know, the way it usually goes. But then you gotta look at the other part about the faith and all that fun shit, and that's the other 40%. That's the other part of it that, you know, makes up all the jelly of, you know, the bowl. And I could sit here and go on, but basically, you gotta leave it up to yourself to really believe in finding the truth. You can't sit there and believe blindly, because right in the Bible it says you will be led by false prophets, you will be given false scriptures, deny them. I will give you a fucking mind, and I will give you a tongue where your adversaries will not be able to gainsay nor resist. You know, come on, man, you need to get out there and, like, read some Bible, and fucking read the Bible and understand it, kind of, to a point where you would be able to somewhat literally understand what the passage means, and then therefore disprove something, improve the belief of something. You know, half of the Mormon book is fun, half of the Mormon book is bullshit, or maybe the other half is bullshit and the other part is fun, or maybe all of it's true, maybe none of it's true. But if none of it's true, then why is there a religion? Don't know. Well, I'll tell you what, man. There's a lot of religions out there, like I said, and this one just happens to be one of the bigger ones out there. So, like I said, I leave it up to you. Don't be a dumbass, though. Don't just go out and start joining church, you know. Think before you join the Mormons.